We can talk about this Hogan stuff because there's enough information out there.
There's a lot out there. So before we went on the air, this was reason number 7 as to why we started late today. Ronald,
Oh, you started late?
we started late because my computer decided to shut the bed. We usually start around 10:04 Eastern. We usually do 4 or 5 minute buffer, but we started a little late today because my computer decided to go haywire on me. Because at around 9:30 ish, there were a few people starting to put it on Reddit that Bubba the Love Sponge on his show was saying that Hulk Hogan was effectively on his deathbed in a hospital. And that was after they were talking about the American beer and then the wrestling, the American wrestling group that they've started with Bischoff and Izzy. And so he basically, had some words about that. And then he said, like, my sources are solid, because he was asked by his co-host on the show. Gave his thoughts on everything and how things with him and Hogan are, blah, blah, blah. TMZ recently came out and said, no, those rumors are not true. Hogan did undergo surgery on his, what was it, on his back?
His neck.
His neck, which Hogan himself has also mentioned recently. And that there were just some, Bischoff basically said, like, he's back in the hospital getting things checked out that had to do with that, the fallout from those surgeries. So that's kind of the condensed notes of where we are right now. Jeremy, you've been kind of tracking this throughout the day, so I'll let you take over.
Here's Eric Bischoff's statement. This is from Derek Sabato, who is Combat Sports reporter. Hulk Hogan had a very successful cervical surgery and is experiencing some adverse reaction. He's doing well and should be home later today. Doctors expecting a full recovery.
That's usually how we react to those types of stories. Jeremy's going to take care of himself and come right back.
Sorry. Apologies, everybody. COVID. So that was Bischoff's statement. Yeah, Hogan had neck surgery a few weeks ago, and they said it was a minor procedure. They said he was back at work the next day, promoting real American fighting or freestyle. I always call it real American fighting, but real American freestyle and his beer and all of that stuff. Bubba the Love Sponge, not the most reliable narrator when it comes to Hulk Hogan. If you know the story there, I'm not going to dive into their full history. I will be fair to Bubba's words and give you what he said. He said, if you did some sniffing around, you might find him, referencing Hogan, in a hospital near you. It's not good. I got some pretty reliable information last night, and there are phone calls being made to various family members about getting to town to come say your goodbyes. And then he was asked, how reliable are your sources? He said, pretty damn reliable, but I still want to frame it in case he got discharged last night at midnight. I've not been able to talk to my sources since yesterday. My sources are that I don't know it to be true. Rumor has it, allegedly Hogan is in the hospital. I've heard people say he might not make it. So that was, he said that I've been told to say it's complications to the neck fusion surgery, and within 72 hours of him having semi-major neck fusion surgery, he's out promoting his new wrestling league and at liquor bars promoting his beer. He had no business being out and about, traveling, sleeping in hotels, not eating well. He'll be 72 soon. I think the neck surgery was downplayed. A lot of people from Hogan's camp called it minor, where it was really major, and he might have complications from that. I don't know necessarily the prognosis, and there have been a lot of things swirling around my sources. And then he was asked, do you want to send him a message? And Bubba said no. And then he talked about his whole history with Hogan. So, again, not the most reliable narrator when it comes to this stuff. TMZ put out that he was doing... hold on, let me get TMZ's actual report here. It's fine, okay. TMZ says Hulk Hogan is not on his last legs. TMZ Sports is told the WWE legend was hospitalized to address lingering neck and back issues, but he is by no means on his deathbed. And then they reference Bubba's reports. Rep for Hogan tells us the 71-year-old isn't close to death. He's just dealing with more of the same ailments he's had for years. In fact, we're told Hogan's back to moving around already. So there you go. Hulk Hogan apparently not on his deathbed and seems to be doing okay, which you're allowed to feel however you want to feel about that. I do think Bubba the Love Sponge should not be putting out information like this. And there is, this was from the settlement in years ago.
2012 was the settlement.
Yeah. So the settlement in 2012 between Terry, Hulk, and Bubba. Bubba will not mention Hulk Hogan on the radio or to any member of the press, either directly or indirectly, unless the statement is positive about him and or unless he is the subject in the media concerning a newsworthy incident, excluding the sex tape scandal, and the statement by Bubba about Terry is either positive or neutral. Bubba will not disparage Terry in any way to any person or entity. Bubba will not make any parody songs, radio skits, videos, or related content about Terry in any way. The statement set forth in paragraph 8 will be Bubba's only statement regarding Terry and the sex tape scandal. Bubba will not make any other public statements regarding that subject, either directly or indirectly. Don't know if this will hold up. Don't know if, it's over 10 years now. I don't know the legalities of all of this, but noteworthy that he's not supposed to mention Hogan in any way unless it's positive. This is certainly not a positive statement, and I don't think this is, it's newsworthy in Bubba's mind, but it's newsworthy because he created it. It's not like this was already out there and he's commenting on it and Hogan's been the subject concerning the newsworthy incident. Like, he created the newsworthy incident. So I don't know if that's something that Hogan's team looks into once the press basically.
He went out and opened his mouth. And then Jeremy talked about it.
Basically, it's two kind of garbage people doing garbage things. Like, that's why it wasn't. That's where we're at.
And that's why it wasn't the thumbnail.
Well, guess what? You're gonna have to create a thumbnail when I clip this. So.
Son of a. Yeah, that's true. Somebody on Reddit left a comment saying, "Hogan possibly dying on Juneteenth was too poetic to be true." And people were like, "Of all the things I didn't know I needed in life." Hey man, those are just reactions from people on the internet. I'm not telling you whether or not I co-sign or not. Just those are comments made. Yeah, that's where we're at. That started this morning around 9:30, and like I said, I picked it up and was able to get that's what I was sending Jeremy earlier in the show, was the comments from Bubba on his show, because it felt like it was just starting to break and we had to get on top of it, and obviously so did TMZ, and Bischoff got his statement out as well. So we'll see where it lands. Like we said, it's just two people taking out their trash, whatever that means. That's it.